I wanted to go and play the actual clip that he was responding to and then get your reaction to it. Guys, let's roll that clip of the Democrats right now.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army.
Our Navy.
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
Our Constitution.
Eric Trump, what's your reaction to that?
Listen, I wrote an entire book about this. It's called
Yes,
Under
you did.
Siege. It's called a story about how they weaponized every single department in the federal government. They used the FBI, they used the DOJ to spy on my father's campaign. I mean, in the eyes of all those people right there, is that legal? Are you allowed to spy on an adversary's campaign? Now, are you allowed to do that only because my father is a Republican and not a Democrat and not on their team? Right? Should those people have quote unquote refused that order? How about breaking into Mar-a-Lago? How about breaking through the gate at Mar-a-Lago with 30 FBI agents and going through Melania's drawers and going through Barron's closet and taking my father's medical records and taking, protected under HIPAA and taking his attorney-client documents? I mean, how about the Russia hoax? I mean, how about the dirty dossier? How about having Hillary Clinton literally fund a dirty dossier, which is totally lies, it's all slanderous, to try and affect her political opponent? Or how about making up the lie that we had secret servers in the basement of Trump Tower that were communicating with the Kremlin? The FBI knew 100% that it was not true. I told them, I invited them into the tower. Go look at any room you want. Go look for any servers you want. It was all made up, and they let this perpetuate for a 3-year period of time. I mean, should they have refused the order to do that? I mean, my answer would have been yes. And then I get to hear this guy talk about a corrupt administration. All they did was try and silence our family. They tried to take us out. They 91 indictments against my father, 112 subpoena against me personally. I became the most subpoenaed person in American history for never doing anything wrong. Mugshots of my father every day, taking him off the ballot in Colorado. Was that constitutional? Was that their constitutional duty? To take a Republican nominee off of a ballot in a state, not allow their people to speak? How about Maine when they did the exact same thing? How about censoring my father? Taking away his First Amendment right, taking him off of YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, right? I mean, literally, we had to create Truth Social in order to have any kind of voice. How about the gag orders from every single one of these corrupt judges? How about the $400 million?
Well, now
I
it's
spent in
amazing.
in
And now you have
legal
them
fees.
calling for the. I mean, to me, and I say this as I was in the Navy. I was an intelligence officer in the intelligence community. I've never heard this kind of language from senators directly speaking to members of the military and members of the intelligence community.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally reckless and disgusting, but it's part of how they behave. And what's amazing, just listening to Eric there, the way you lay it all out, it shows why your book is so necessary, because just the scale of it and the endless nature of it, on and on and on in so many different ways, it's easy to forget, not least because in this second administration, so much is being accomplished on a policy front, and we're just focused on that all the time. But just looking at what they've done, the question, Eric, is: do you feel that we're moving towards real accountability for all of that which happened to you and your family?
Steve, I think that's why they're petrified. And let's, by the way, for all the service members who are petrified, right? I mean, isn't it kind of ironic that under Joe Biden, it was the worst recruitment? I mean, they couldn't fill any of their quotas. They were, not only could they not fill their quotas, but they were actually removing all the standards because it was the only way that they could get people into the United States military. Yet, under my father and Pete's headset, isn't it really amazing that you have the greatest military recruitment in the history of the country? But obviously, you have the greatest military recruitment in the history of the country. You did a total 180 change in a period of 7 months. But you only have the greatest military recruitment in the history of our nation because people are petrified of this. You know what they're not petrified of? They have a commander-in-chief who will actually act. They have a commander-in-chief who will, stand behind them, not do what Barack Obama did, which prosecute every single person who took out a terrorist, right, and court-martial them. I can't tell you how many of my friends were court-martialed for doing, their jobs. Yet my father stands behind all these people. And don't you think that the men and women in the United States military and our intelligence agencies wants a world where there are no wars? How many wars has my father stopped at this point? What, 8? I mean, under my father's first term, they had fighter planes that couldn't even take off. Pretty much the first thing that they told him when he went into 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue was, sir, don't start any conflicts because we are out of ammunition. The United States of America is out of ammunition, and yet, all of these service members are so petrified to have Donald Trump as commander-in-chief. Give me a freaking break.